What we're going to do today, we're going to quickly go over the first stage, second and third, and we're going to continue with the fourth stage, fifth stage, and we're going to start moving into the marriage. Let me ask you, who remembers the first stage of the relationship? What was the name of the stage and what was the key points of that stage? When you just met a guy, what happens?
Sorry, I'm like getting ready for the day, but physical?
Physical, wonderful, Samantha. Great to have you. Yes, it's a physical connection. It's a physical stage. And during the stage, what is the most important thing that happens between a man and a woman? First of all, how men fall in love. What is this, the sign? He sees her, his attraction, and he thinks because he wants her that he's in love. And that's why it's a physical connection, okay? Now,
Yeah.
a lot of times, women nowadays, because they have a chemistry, they're thinking, oh, I'm in love too. But it's not love at all. It's just the first stage of the dating process and the relationship where they're just very attracted to each other. By the way, if a man is attracted to a woman because he finds her sexy and beautiful and hot, this is great. This is supposed to be this way. But if a woman is attracted to a man, he's sexy, he's good looking, it's not a good sign. Because a woman get attracted by what? Yes, Jenny, beautiful. Intellect. Intellect. The first 30 seconds to 2 minutes, she's checking his intellect. Okay? Very good. Second stage of the relationship. Who remembers the second stage? Uncertainty. Yes. What happens during that stage?
He gets a little nervous about how much he likes you.
Absolutely. Man especially feels uncomfortable, uncertain, scared, worried. And he gets uncertain about you. He's not sure that he really likes you. So he's in this fear stage of uncertainty, could go for weeks, could go for a month. And he might experience it again and again until you give him this time and space to fully be in that uncertainty space. Now, third stage, who remembers? What was the third stage of the relationship?
Exclusivity.
Beautiful.
Emotional development.
Yes, exclusive relationship. Beautiful. What is the key points of the exclusive relationship? What is it again?
You can start, you still don't want to like overshare and you still want to look nice, but you can start doing some more like house instead of just outside dates. Get to share a little bit more about you.
Beautiful. You're starting to get a little bit closer, but again, you're not oversharing. Nothing negative at all at this point still. It's still nice. And the key point of this stage is to feel that it's still kind of a honeymoon without intimacy. The guy has to take you towards the moonwalk on the beach if you live in Florida, or he has to still buy you flowers, take you to the restaurant, because after a year or 5 years, if you go through the difficult time in life, you'll go back like in an album and remember, oh, do you remember how we walked on the beach? Do you remember how I bought you flowers on a white horse? You know, we did the photo shooting. He still has to put effort to create this romance. And so this stage gonna help you to glue yourself during the difficult time. Okay? And now we're gonna start covering the fourth stage, which is called closer or pre-engagement. Especially if you're single, that's going to help you tremendously. But if you're not single, start looking back and saying, where did you mess up on the first, second, or third stage? Because your marriage or your relationship is bumpy now in the marriage because you have rushed somewhere either in the first, second, or third stage of the relationship. And so the fourth stage of the relationship called closer or pre-engagement. And people usually think that if we're closer, then we got to do what?
Have sex.
Exactly. Exactly. But that's not true at all. We still want to hold the cherry for engagement or wedding because during this period, it's the first stage when you can start opening up difficult periods of your life. Maybe you have an argument with mother. Maybe you had an argument with your sister or your father and you haven't been talking to them for months. Before that, you were not supposed to share at all any of the drama in your life. Now you can share, but you're sharing to do what? Why are you doing that? Does anybody wants to guess?
To build closeness more?
Yes, but at the same time to see how is he reacting. Is he the one that will run away? And he is not the guy that you can cry on his shoulder. Or he is the one who will listen, who cares, and who will support you through this emotional, difficult period of your life. And so a woman looks at his action. And that's why this stage is very critical. It's also a red flag. He's not listening. He's not attentive when you're sharing something difficult. Do you want to get married to someone who is not going to be there for you during the difficult time? How he reacts now in this fourth stage, that's how he's going to be for the rest of his life. If you go through financial crisis and you need an emotional support to cry, he's not supposed to pay your bills, but he at least has to be there to listen to your challenges. You have anxiety, panic attack, you're in the hospital, he's there to be there. And if he's not, this is the wrong guy. Bye-bye. You gotta move on. We're not expecting too much, but at the same time, we want to check how is he with you when the times go south, when the things go bad.
So when do you know it's gone from exclusive to pre-engagement? Like how does that look different?
Very good question. Exclusive relationship is when you declare spending a good time, romantic evenings, but you've been on the space already for a month or two, and you're starting to feel comfortable, and the guy starts to either tell you that he loves you, or he starts opening up to you, and he doesn't see you as a sex symbol anymore. He opens up and shares some vulnerable stuff, and he's really in tune with you to get to know you. He's now putting effort to ask you, do you need anything? How are you doing? And he's really curious to know, how are things at work? How are you doing financially? What's going on with you you and your parents? He's really trying to get to know you. And that's how you know you're not already in all exclusive relationship, but you're moving into pre-engagement. You haven't slept with him, and he's been investing his time, energy, money, taking you to the restaurants, taking you out to the movies, taking you maybe to a mini vacation, and he's not trying to get you in bed even though he really wants to. And he's really interested to know you. This is how you know you're in pre-engagement. And let's put it this way. A man been working for, let's say, a company 10 years. And now he's getting big bonuses. He is getting a real advancement at work. Of course, now he has more money. He wants to buy either car or yacht or a condo, or maybe two things at the same time. Same thing with a man. He's looking at you as an investment. He invested so much time, so much energy, so much money. He is now already views you as a diamond that he wants to close the deal with. And he's already starting to think about you as his fiancée, future wife. And that's why if you do the step 1, 2, and 3 correctly, a man really now in the fourth stage closer is in love with you and thinking about wedding rings, thinking about engagement. But only if you've been holding the cherry, if you're not an easy woman, because a man looks at a woman from two ways. And I'm sorry now comparing us ladies to food. So imagine, a man looks at a woman as a high-value woman, as a filet mignon, even though I don't eat meat for the longest time now, but I remember the taste of filet mignon in the Ritz-Carlton. And for the filet mignon, he needs to call and make reservation. He needs to get dressed to go to Ritz-Carlton. He needs to get a car and pick you up, and then get a valet parking and go in, and then there's playing the smooth jazz, and the light is just perfect. And he gets the table, and the waiter comes and serves the wine and appetizers or a glass of water. And then you get the soup or the salad. And then you are looking at the menu and you're ordering the mashed potatoes and asparagus and filet mignon the way you just like it. And then you're slowly enjoying looking at each other, listening to this music in the dim light, and then he pays this bill, $100-something, and then he drives you home. And so this is how he views a high-value woman, and he slowly eats this filet mignon, enjoying every bite of it. But then there's also women who just met a guy, and he's texting her, and she's texting him, and In 1 hour, she's sending him half a naked pictures or naked pictures, and then he's asking her to come to hook up, and then he views her as a donut from Dunkin' Donuts. And then this donut he just buys for $1 and he takes a bite and bye-bye. Maybe tomorrow, if I have no plans, I'll call you for another hookup. But he will never look at this woman as someone he will get engaged to and have a marriage, because she's a $1 donut. And so we have to differentiate. Are we a cake from Whole Foods for $20? Are we a donut for $1? Or we are a filet mignon that a guy been waiting for 6 months by dating you, by asking you out, taking you to the restaurants, by calling and texting you and investing the time, energy, and money. And now he is moving forward the engagement. He is moving forward with the wedding. Because after the 4th stage, you pretty much don't have to do anything. Because the guy already knows you are the one. He wants to marry you because he put so much at stake. He invested so much time and energy. He doesn't want you to be anyone else's. Do you get that?
It's pretty clear.
It is pretty clear, right? Very good. And so,
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Joanna.
Sorry. I was just wondering, hypothetically, I'm single right now, but hypothetically, if a woman did give the cherry up in the first couple of stages,
Yeah.
can she undo that? Like, is that possible
No.
to undo?
No.
I'm just curious.
No, it's impossible to undo. And that's what every woman hopes for, that she made a mistake, because the moment you sleep with a guy, you gave all of your best cards to him. You're no longer in charge of the relationship. When you don't give your cherry, you are in charge on how the relationship will go. You are in control. You are in power. He's still interested to date you, to take you to the restaurants, to take you to movies, to take you to vacations, buy you gifts, calling you, texting you. You are in the romance stage where he's chasing you. The moment you give cherry, he relaxes. That's it. That means this is enough what he did, and that means he's good enough, so you gave the cherry. A man stops to grow. And now you will have to put so much effort in order to twist his arms to ever commit to you. Because why? If you're sleeping with him, you're doing the duties of a wife. If you're cooking for him, you're doing the duties of a wife. And I understand that right now in our modern society, a lot of men have been growing up with single mothers and they're more in tune with their feminine energy. And some of those you will be able to break the arm, to commit to you. But it's going to be a mediocrity relationship. He's not going to be a provider. He's not going to be a protector unless you're doing all the work to work on yourself to become a feminine. But it's going to be a lot of effort, a lot of energy. It will be years before he will commit. Best case scenario, again, with you doing a lot of work. But if you do everything properly, the 6 months, he will do the work to get engaged with you. He will do the work to get married to you, because you're that rare jewel. And that's why it's so important to know the stages, to know the formula, how to date a man. You see, a man is like a kid's book. They're very simple. It's like 3 pages with 1 paragraph on. We ladies, we're that complicated. It's like you gotta read 1,000 book of spirituality, 1,000 book of science, 1,000 books of history to understand a woman. We're that complex. And we're judging based on us that men are that complex. But they're very easy. Very easy. What they need is to be providers, leaders, protectors. They need to feel needed. They need to feel appreciated, acknowledged, and proud. And at the same time, even if they're married, feel the sense of freedom. That they're not tied up into the marriage. They gotta still feel freedom, that they can talk to other women and flirt with them. Yes, they gotta feel that freedom. That's all men needs. 90% of the men are like that, with 10% deviation. Some are a little bit more stubborn, some are very talkative, some are a little bit greedy. You get that. But 90% men are that simple. And we need to learn them and understand what is their 90% This is 90%, and then 10% the deviation. It's like, again, 5 pages children's book with 1 paragraph. But because we're complicated, we're thinking we will never learn them. We will never understand them. But they're very simple, very simple. 99% of the time, what they mean, that's what they say. What they think, that's what they say. They don't have hidden agenda like we are. But we think one thing, we're saying second, we do third, we change our minds, and we do completely different. That's why man, when he is on a date, he shouldn't be doing the talking, because that's very dangerous. Now question, why do you think this is dangerous?
It gives them a little bit more control of the date.
No. Keep thinking. Good try.
Think they should be interested in us.
Yes. Keep looking. Keep guessing. Why men should be doing talking a lot?
It's kind of a feminine quality to be very talkative.
For sure, it's a feminine quality. But doing the talking, what is there possibility that he might do?
Talk about sex.
Yeah, for sure, but he knows he's not supposed to. Most of the men will hide that, even though it's going to be in their face. But the biggest thing, when a man talks too much, he's tend to do a lot of mistakes. And we are very, very judgmental, ladies. Because...
Like he'll say something to turn us off.
Absolutely. And if a man says something strange and weird on the first date, that's it, cross. I will never see that dude again. Isn't that true? Second date, still kind of, yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to see him again. They can mess up by talking too much. And so man has to do the listening and asking the questions and getting to know a woman, because a woman like this 3,000 books that he needs to study. And the more he will listen, the more he will understand her. And by the way, first 2-3 months, a woman on a date, especially first 2-3 weeks, a month, she's putting on the show like she's trying to win an Oscar in Hollywood. And it's a lot of fluff. It's like whipped cream on the Starbucks latte. But after 2-3 months, she starts to share her core. And the more man is in tune and listening to her, the more he'll realize, oh my God, she's nothing but red flags. I need to run. She's a drama queen. Or he realizes she's a really soft and feminine woman. She is the one that I want to really get to know better and start investing even more time and energy. And that's why man has to do the listening. He needs to learn. But a man, because when men are with men, they want to show off their logic and their awareness and their common sense. They think the same thing with women, that if he gonna show his common sense and awareness and logic, he really gonna turn a woman on. But that's actually doesn't really work, because by talking too much with this common sense to him, he might really turn off the woman, because by talking too much, he will do a lot of mistakes. And so woman gotta help a man during the dating stages not to talk too much. And shift the conversation is to bring the conversation back to you. Because the more you talk and the more he listens, the more he'll get to know you. And now I'm going to start even sharing a little bit more the difference between us to really fully integrate that in your mind, putting a lot of seeds about it. Even about sexuality. Men are so simple. Press the button, the stick goes on, excuse my language, and he's ready to go in. That's how simple it is for men. For our sexuality. It doesn't even start in the evening. He has to say, good morning, honey. You're so beautiful. Have a wonderful day. He goes to work. During the day, he's either texting or calling you. He comes home. He's rubbing your shoulders or giving you compliments or whispers in your ear how beautiful you are and how much he loves you. And then you start thinking, oh yeah, maybe we can have a sexy time tonight. And then he has to kiss you right. Hold you right. You gotta have the certain light, the certain dress, the certain smell, the certain music to really have a sexy time. That's how different we are. Do you get that? And that's why a man has to put so much effort to get to know us. And the experience having 50 other women, not gonna make a difference, because Jessica liked French kiss this way, Jennifer liked how he was telling her I love you in French this way, and Natasha likes completely different thing. So the experience having many women, how men think, not gonna help him. And if a woman has many men in the past, if a man lives with this guy for 3 years, and with another guy for 2 years, and with another and another 5 guys, she's spending 2-3 years, basically her prime time years to have a relationship and marriage is pretty much gone. Do you get? That's why we have to be so responsible and careful in how we're dating a guy and not giving our body, our soul, our mind, our cherry to anyone. 6 months, that's all he has. If he is a decent guy, you continue to dating him. And if you do everything right and there's no ring, and you're talking about it, where we're moving, would you like us to get progressing, and nothing is still there, you can move on. You're not going to waste 2 or 3 years on a guy who is not committing to you. What are you hearing, ladies?
He said it's easier than getting a glass of water. And I believe him. And I think these days you really stand out when you don't sleep with the man.
Yes. And if a man says it's easier to get a girl than drinking a bottle of water, what he's saying, he's been dating a donut woman who is ready to go for a hookup on the first night. And okay, yeah, you can go to escort, you can go get $1 donut. I'm not that type of a woman. I'm a filet mignon. And if you like a filet mignon takes time. You don't have to say this to him, but he needs to understand that in your action. You're not letting him to get close. You're always keeping the distance. You're keeping that boundaries of respect of your femininity. You're respecting your body, your soul, your mind, and you're not letting him get too close. Yeah?
Yeah.
Very good.